Good morning again, Tarrant County. We're going to go ahead and get started. As I stated today, my name is LaMonica Miles, and I will be the moderator for today's live hiring event. And I will not be going in any particular order. I will just be calling on the employers based on how they're displaying on my screen. So right now, the first employer to speak will be Elite Personnel, and we have Christy Law. She's going to share with us the awesome opportunities that are open and the perfect candidate that she's looking for to fill the opportunity. So take it away, Christy.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to meet everybody. I am a recruiter with Elite Personnel Management. We have been in business for a while. We actually have about 60 openings in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We have a whole ton of different positions, from professional positions like HR generalists, engineers, quality managers. We have warehouse positions such as order selectors, assemblers, picker packers, forklift operators, receivers. We're looking for clerical people, data entry, transportation, and also Class A drivers. And I did also want to point out for future reference, if you have anybody in the Eastern Texas area, we also have oil field positions that we're trying to fill. Due to COVID, there has been some struggles with finding people that are interested in working, and some people are a little frightened about the policies with COVID, what type of protections that different companies, different areas, what they're using to protect our people from COVID. I did kind of want to point out, for our application process, we do everything online except for the drug test. So everything from the background check, the interview process, the application, we do everything online. And you only have to come into our physical office just the one time for the drug test. Everything else is done online. We do pay weekly direct deposit, which I know is a bonus for a lot of people. And some of our positions, we do have incentives for an attendance bonus. So I'd like to talk about that position right now. It's an order selecting position. It is a night shift and it pays $19 an hour, which is a really nice pay. Again, it is a night shift, but there's a lot of overtime. So overtime, you're looking at 10 to 15 hours of overtime every week, which is nice. The attendance bonus, as long as you're showing up on time, every day that you're supposed to be there, 5 days a week, there is an attendance bonus, and you can get that every week added onto your check. And at the end of the month, we also do kind of like a raffle for everybody who made the attendance bonus. And it's different, you know, it might be a TV or it might be, you know, some other type of appliance or a gift card. So we're trying to encourage people to come to work, but also show up on time and that sort of thing. So with regard to the order selector position, with it being a night shift, they do prefer people that have either worked in the night shift or are comfortable working a night shift, because it is a little bit different than a day shift. It's probably 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. They always get Saturday off, and then they'll get a second day off during the week, which tends to rotate just depending on the schedule. So everybody's schedule is different and posted every week. The process for this position is we basically will get your resume. You can either send it to me directly, or I might find you online. Like if you apply through ZipRecruiter, our website directly, you can call me directly, or even through Work in Texas. Once I get on the phone with you, I'll talk to you further about the position, answer any questions that you might have. And then if everything's great, we'll send you an application. You do it online. It's a very simple application. Once we get that back, we'll send you an authorization for a background release. Once we get that back and everything looks okay, we just have you come in and take a drug test. And then we'll get a start date from you. We'll get your new hire paperwork done, all that stuff. And again, it's all done online except for the drug test. That we can't do online, unfortunately. So you have to come in for that. The new hire paperwork, again, you are an employee. This is not a contract position, so you're an actual employee with Elite. You do fill out all standard paperwork, your I-9s, your W-4s, your direct deposit paperwork, all of that good stuff. And then we start you as soon as you're able. The warehouse order selector position for training purposes, this first day is typically a Tuesday or a Friday, typically. The training times, for example, Tuesdays, we tend to start at 5 p.m. and Fridays, we tend to start at 6 p.m. because it is a night shift. Another position that's a little bit more entry level that we're looking to fill is an assembler position. And this one is straight out entry level. They don't need to have any experience at all, but you do have to be 18 years of age. And it's working in a warehouse, assembling car HVAC units. They do teach you. I kind of like to think of it as looking at a blueprint like a Lego, putting together Legos. It has a little blueprint that you're going to use to manufacture and put the assembly or the HVAC assembly together. And you'll use some power tools and some hand tools, but again, it's entry level. And that's a good one for anyone who's trying to get into the warehouse industry, but may not have ever worked in a warehouse before, or maybe getting just fresh out of school, as long as you're at least 18 years of age. Other than that, I'd like to pass it on to whoever's next, or if anybody has any questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chrissy, for the information that you have shared. I do have two things that I would like for you to kind of expand on a little bit more.
Yes.
So how long does your onboarding process typically take? Because the way that you described it, it seems like it's fairly quick.
Yes. So I'm pretty quick. I do like to spend time on the phone with my candidates, and so does the other recruiter, because we do want to make sure that we describe the position 100%, answer any questions they might have. So the interview process itself for me or one of the other recruiters, we tend to like to spend at least 20 to 30 minutes on the phone with you. And of course, we always provide our email address and our phone number if they think of any questions later. Once we get off the phone with them, we send the application online immediately. That part is up to the candidate, but the second we get the application back, and the application's pretty short, it should only take about 10 minutes. It's not anything too horrendous. Once we get the application back, we immediately send the background authorization, and that again is up to the candidate how quickly they authorize it. But if we see a few hours has passed and it has not been authorized, we'll call, to make sure that they received the email and whatnot. And then once the background check has been authorized, that's typically maybe about 48 hours. It can be a little bit longer, and that's not up to us. I've seen some people, me included, that have lived in multiple states, and that background check has to process through different counties. I'm a military brat, so I've been all over the place. So I remember when I started working for this company, mine took probably 3 days. And that was just because I had lived all over the United States. We've had some come back in 12 hours, but generally it's about 48 hours. And then once that comes back, we have the candidate come in for the drug test, and they can come in anytime. We like to schedule it just so we don't have a bunch of people on top of each other. And the drug test, we do the orientation, and then they get the new hire paperwork. So I would say if the candidate is boom, boom, boom on top of everything, 48 hours, I would say.
Okay. That is definitely good information to know. Do you have any benefits that you would like to talk about as it relates to the positions that you've discussed today?
It depends on the position and what it is exactly and the site exactly that they're working from. Typically, after 90 days, there are benefits, medical, vision, dental. The warehouse order selector, I know they also, that particular one, they have 401k, they have paid time off, that sort of thing. They all have, after their probation period, they all have medical, vision, and dental, but there are additional perks. The Class A driver position, for example, they also have additional things that they have that they can get, like I think like a stock plan and things like that. It kind of just depends on the position, but they all have medical, vision, dental after they pass like the initial probation period that a lot of companies have, which is typically about 90 days. And there's typically different options depending on how many family members you have and things like that.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that information. Brittany, do we have any other questions in the chat? I see that you're working on putting the website there.
Yeah, Chrissy, I'm going to put your career site in the chat, okay? I'm just looking it up. And we did have a question that wasn't covered. It was, is there relocation assistance?
No, there is not. They do have to be within the area.
Okay, thank you. And that wraps it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Christy. The next employer that we have will be the Rios Group, Crystal Bybee.
Good morning.
Take it away. Good morning.
Yes. Thanks so much for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to introduce the Rios Group, learn a little bit about what we do and the positions we have available. So we are a mid-sized engineering firm. We specialize in subsurface utility engineering, which means that we locate and map underground utilities for use in our clients' design and construction projects. So these are large design and construction projects like roadways or land development projects like hospitals. We operate statewide. So we have offices, our headquarters offices here in Fort Worth. We have offices also in Dallas, as well as Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. So the background of our operations here at the Rios Group is our field technicians. Without our field technicians, we just wouldn't have an operation. Those are the positions that we're really looking to hire for at this time. From our entry-level position to a field technician that's been in the business for 10 to 20 years, really we rely on them to be successful as an organization. We're currently looking for field techs in Fort Worth, as well as in Round Rock and San Antonio. We'll focus on our Fort Worth positions that we have here today. I've asked our Fort Worth field manager, Craig Miller, to join us. He's going to talk a little bit about those two positions that we have that we're currently searching. So I'll turn it over to him.
So we currently are hiring a Tech 1 and a Tech 3 position. So Tech 1 is operating a vacuum excavation piece of equipment. So we use high pressure air and water to dig a hole down to the utility to verify the depth, the size, the material type. And there's a 4-inch vacuum hose that sucks all that out so we can see the utility and get pictures of it. The job duties for a Tech 1 would be to be able to operate that piece of equipment. But we train, Tech 1s are trained here. We train them to use the equipment. They'll be able to go out of town with the other techs, use the equipment as well as coring rigs to core holes and concrete to dig holes. And then we have a Tech 3 position open, which a Tech 3 assists Tech 1 and 2s in their job digging the holes, but they also lay out the test holes and locate the utilities. And they'll need to be able to do that, as well as draw drawings on a DCAD program that we have to show where they laid out the holes and mark the utilities. There is travel. We travel all over the state, but typically we're traveling out of town up to 2 weeks at a time, and we tend to try to bring our people home and rotate them out. And that pretty much sums it up for the Tech 1 and 2 and 3 positions.
So thank you so much for sharing that detail. Would you say that those tech positions are entry level, or would you prefer someone with experience?
Tech 1 is entry level. Tech 3, we prefer some locate experience, anywhere from 1 year to 3 years.
Okay. Are you able to share the salary for those positions?
Yes, sure. Our starting salary for the Tech 1 position is $15 an hour. And our starting salary or hourly wage for the Tech 3 position is dependent upon the experience that you have. I've seen it start around $18 to $20 per hour.
Thank you so much for that extra detail. Brittany, do we have any questions relating to the Rios Group? You're muted, Brittany.
Oh, double clicked it. I'm seeing one saying management positions in San Antonio or Fort Worth with Rios Group.
We do have a project manager position open in our San Antonio office. We're looking for a professional engineer or someone with an EIT or engineering training certification. So if that's something that you would be interested in or know someone who has those credentials, please feel free to email me, contact me through our website. Our website is www.rios-group.com. You can go to our career tab on our website to find out more about those positions.
Thank you so much. I do have a question for you. With the holidays approaching, are the work hours affected because of the holiday, or are they the same?
They are generally the same. We don't close at all for the holidays. We work, primarily we work about 10-hour shifts. For those field technician positions, they're going to be working about 6:30 in the morning to somewhere around 4 to 5:30 in the afternoon. Monday through Friday, if project work, if there is additional project work that needs to be completed, we may work on a Saturday if necessary.
Okay. Would you say that there are any career paths associated with the positions that are open or opportunities for advancement?
Yeah, actually, I'd like Craig to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we tend to promote from within. So if you hire in here as a Tech 1, we have training programs that we're developing where we can progress you to a Tech 2 all the way up to the Tech 4 position. You can go from digging a hole with a vacuum equipment to actually being a designator, which you go out with the locate equipment and be the guy locating the utilities. So there's plenty of room for advancement here. It's a good company to work for. We have excellent benefits. So there is definitely room for advancement.
Thank you so much for that added detail, because some of the feedback that we're getting from the job seekers is they are interested in going back to work full time, but just because of the pandemic, they're looking for opportunities that are more solid, right? So thank you for just providing that additional detail. I'm sure that it will actually speak to some uncertainties that have surfaced within our job seekers. Do we have? Go ahead.
With our company, we didn't really have any slowdowns or anything due to the pandemic. So we pretty much worked steady through the pandemic. So we're an essential employer. So we do a lot of highway construction projects and things of that nature. So we worked right on through.
Essential means that you will have a job during the pandemic. So
I would like to touch on some of those benefits that Craig mentioned. We do offer employer paid employee health care. So we pay 100% of your health care, as well as we have a 401k with a safe harbor match, which means that you are fully vested from day one. So that's a great, we have a 4% match. So that's a great benefit for anyone looking for long-term commitment to a company.
That's exciting. That actually sets your company apart from the rest, because at the rate of being fully vested from day one, that's a perk.
Right.
So thank you so much for that information. The next employer up that we have, do we have any additional questions relating to their opportunities, Brittany?
Two easy ones. So are you guys requiring the COVID vaccination, and are you background friendly?
So on the COVID vaccination, we do not require it. However, we do have COVID protocols in place where we are wearing masks in the office, as well as when we're working within 6 feet of each other. We have a special deal today for us to be this close together, but we have our masks right here with us. So we do have protocols in place. We are trying to get to 80% vaccinated as a company, and when we reach that goal, then we will relax some of those restrictions. As for background friendly, we do require a quote unquote clean background check for purposes of badging at other, we have to get badged at certain government agencies to be able to work on their properties. So as long as we would be able to badge you, and we just have to take a look at a background check individually to make that determination.
Thank you so
That
much
wraps up
for
the
that
question.
information. Okay, the next employer that we have is Oak Street. And we have Natasha Adams, who will be speaking to the open positions and the ideal candidate for the positions that are open. Take it away, Ms. Adams.
Good morning. Sorry, I was having technical difficulties, so I just joined. We have outreach executive opportunities that are open right now, along with a LVN opportunity. Our locations are inside of Walmart clinics. So our primary population that we serve are those that are on Medicare. And we have opportunities at our Carrollton campus, Arlington, and Benbrook. Again, those are attached to Walmart supercenters. So I would say the individual that we are looking for first and foremost is someone with personality, right? Someone who has a very welcoming demeanor to them. James Townsend is also joining me today. He is the Regional Director of Growth. So he can also speak to what the ideal candidate for outreach would have in terms of qualities to be successful.
Thank you, Natasha. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for having us. As Natasha mentioned, the title of this role, this role we are looking for is outreach executive. And it's an entry-level position, someone that is outgoing, that's a people person, that's not shy, do not mind getting being in the community, meeting new people, building relationships with local businesses, local churches, senior homes, that doesn't not mind we spend time on the phone. So not necessarily like a call center, but I would say have some type of call center experience, not shy, don't have a problem being in person, being on the phone, following up. So that's really what it takes to be an outreach executive, and I can talk more about more of the role here. Typically, it is a target. It is commission based. It's a base salary, and it is commission based. So the goal is to bring in new patients. As Natasha mentioned, we service our older adults in the community, so we want to be where they are. We provide an unmatched patient experience, and how they get compensated is, again, being our center is in the Walmart. We table inside the Walmart, and you have the opportunity to be there, talk to seniors, tell them about all the services that we do provide. Once you get them bought into the model, schedule them for their first visit. Once they complete their first visit, at that point, they begin to establish care with Oak Street Health. We're not the typical doctor's office. We do provide the transportation to and from the doctor's appointments with them. It's just a benefit of being a patient with us. We understand that our seniors in the community, a lot of them do not drive, or that they base their doctor's appointments around family that can take them, grandchildren, kids. That helps our patients. That helps them stay healthier because they're able to get to and from the doctor's appointments. We have same day, next day appointments. So that simply means that if someone needs to be seen, they don't have to wait 2-3 weeks as a lot of primary care doctors' offices. It takes a while for them to get into their doctor. That does not happen with us. We don't double book. So that means that 10 o'clock time slot, that is for that patient. They spend very minimum, max 10 to 15 minutes in the waiting room before they meet with their providers with us. Oak Street Health has been around since 2012. We started in the Chicagoland area, and we have been in Texas now. We have not reached our year anniversary here at our Walmart super centers, and we're growing rapidly. We started with 16 locations. We now have over 100 plus locations, 8 here in the Texas area. We recently have been, we are AARP, we partner with AARP. We're a trusted primary care provider, one of the only trusted primary care providers with AARP. So we're doing a lot of great things. Reduce hospital admissions by 51% for our patients. Just a value-based model that we are really happy to bring here to the Texas area, and we're looking for some really strong person, someone that is from the area, that knows their community, and that wants to save lives inside their community.
Thanks, James. Another exciting thing that happened with us today is we just partnered with Rubicon MD. So we are definitely growing. And again, to James's point, we are just really looking for individuals who want to come, who are excited to work. We train, so you don't have to have any knowledge coming in. So I think that's most important. We're not looking for anyone that has 1 year to 3 years experience. You can have 0 years of experience, but just want to deliver that white glove service to our patients, as well as have that inviting personality.
Thank you so much, Natasha and James, for the information that you have shared. I do have one question for you. As it relates to the wraparound service of transportation that's offered to the customers or to the patients, do you have any additional services that are offered?
Yes, we do have behavioral health. We're working on getting a social worker. The program is built out, but I know that we are hiring for that as well. We work very closely with our trusted insurance agents. So it's a program that's, again, it's kind of built inside where we help our patients navigate through this Medicare world. Right now, it's open enrollment period for anyone that's on Medicare. And they're able to come into our center and get educated on benefits that they're eligible for, that is at no cost to them or a little bit of cost. So that is another service that we do provide.
Okay, thank you so much for the information that you have shared. Do we have any other questions as it relates to Oak Health in the chat, Brittany?
I have one. What is the salary for positions and do they offer benefits?
Yes, so the salaries for the positions that we have available, they're going to range. So again, based on experience, for our outreach executives, the minimum salary coming in is $35,000 base. But again, to James's point, it is commission based. So we would definitely take into consideration previous work experience. And what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry.
Benefits.
Benefits, yes. So we do offer a comprehensive benefits package, which includes medical, dental, vision. We also have flexible spending as well as healthcare savings. We have, we just offered pet insurance. So we try to take a look at everything. We also offer employee stock. So we offer employee stock purchase plan twice a year, as well as 401k, and we do match.
Thank
We
you. And
also have
just
PTO. So we're constantly looking at our benefits package to see what we can add to help our employees.
thank you. And just to add to that, thank you, Natasha, around the commission piece. The commission is not capped. It's paid out monthly. And I would just say, depending on where you're coming in at, it starts at $125 per patient that you do bring in. And it's possible that we even do sign-on bonuses but that's more to come, but it's possible for a sign-on bonus as well.
Yeah, and we also offer challenges for outreach specifically. So I believe the top OE has a chance to win an additional $10,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so we definitely incentivize here. We definitely celebrate our successes. So it's a very rewarding place to work, especially if you're a person that likes to help out the community. You're also rewarded internally for that as well.
And just to add one
Definitely.
more thing to add, I apologize, but we prefer to promote and hire within. Just to paint a picture, I've been with the company 5 years, started at the level that we are hiring for, and then within 5 years, we promote. So you come in at the entry level. Within 3 to 4 months, you can go to the next level, which is the outreach executive level 2, which you get a $15,000 bump in your base pay and more for per patient that you do bring in. And we're projected to be we're at 100 plus, around 104 centers across the country. By the end of 22, we're projected to be at around 200 centers. And again, we start from within. We look at people that are performing really well, that has embraced the model, showing all Oki values across the board, and we look to promote you.
Wow. Thank you so much. You have definitely shared a lot of information that our job seekers have found to be useful. I do have one question for you, just to kind of break down the commission piece. When they are out to get commission, is it like cold calls, or do you have a defined list of patients that qualify for services, and then in that case it's just a matter of simply making the contact? So if you could kind of talk a little bit about what that represents.
So a little bit of both. The company provides us with resources. Again, we work with so many Humana, we're a trusted carrier for Humana. So Humana sends out to people that's looking for primary care providers, and it's 5 miles from within one of our centers. They send us out and they assign us to be the primary care provider. We typically will get that list, and then we will have to follow up with these people and just call them and get them in for their first appointment. But the other piece around is the account building, is which I talked about, being in the community, partnering with some of the senior homes, going to local businesses, family-owned businesses who may not have senior day, but we have a budget, and you can invest in them, and the company will invest in them and create a senior day, build the rapport, build the relationship, follow up with the seniors that you do meet, and then you call them. So a little bit of both in that area. We provide,
Okay.
but the big piece is you filling up the top of that funnel, and then following up with your leads to get them to become patients.
So there's definitely a huge part of just community presence is what drives the goal forward. So thank you so much for the information. Do we have any additional questions for them in the chat?
And while being in the community, I do want to say, I'm sorry, so much information that I really want to get it out to you all. I appreciate you all being patient with me. But while being in the community, you do get compensated for your miles. So going from here to there, you get compensated. You get a phone allowance every 2 weeks because you will possibly utilizing your cell phone. And anything that you use in the community to build that relationship, you will be reimbursed for as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that added valuable information.
So we do have a running question too for all employers to keep in mind. You don't have to announce it verbally. You can put it in the chat if you want, but we are getting lots of questions on background friendly and the COVID-19 requirements. So if you have any advice on how to handle that when you're in an interview with an employer, what you're expecting to hear or see or interact with the people that you're interviewing, if you could share a little bit about that in the chat, I would really appreciate it because those questions are coming up over and over. And then Oak Street Health, if you want to share your guidelines on how you are background friendly or not.
Yes, so we are, it depends on the position that you're applying for. So I think that we can probably say they're looked at on an individual basis. I can speak to our COVID policy if you'd like. So because we are healthcare and most healthcare organizations do require or have mandated the COVID-19 vaccine, we have, however, just like any other organization, if you have a medical or religious exemption and now a personal conscious decision as an exemption, then we do accept those as well. We do have masking, so even if you are fully vaccinated, we are still wearing masks. Those folks that are unvaccinated and have an exemption, we double mask. So you wear either a surgical mask with a cloth mask on top, or you can wear an N95 mask. And we also do weekly testing for those individuals who are unvaccinated.
Thank you. Any other questions, Brittany, for them?
We have some specific questions about openings. So do you have any social service, administrative, management positions, nonprofit positions? I put this in the chat as well. If anyone has inquiries about individual openings, please do visit the career sites of the individual companies. I've put them so far in the chat. So if you're looking for individual openings, please go to their career site so that they don't have to list off their openings. Some of our employers have about like 60 openings. So go to their career sites. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. The next employer that we have up to speak is Fort Worth ISD, and Marcus Terrell will be speaking to us. Marcus, feel free to take it away.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for having me, everybody. I am a business partner over at Fort Worth ISD, and I handle a lot of the staffing for our campuses and our departments. At Fort Worth ISD, we provide the structure and the tools needed for children and young adults to grow into what we believe would be the best version of themselves. Our organization really revolves around that principle. And even though that might be our focus, it usually is a misconception that we only hire for teachers and teaching related positions. But we definitely hire for other positions outside of that, and we are constantly looking for people to fill those roles. And even though those roles don't directly work with children, they all have an outcome on an effect of how they grow and enter our communities. We have a vast array of positions that we're currently looking for, and I'm certain that we have a position that fits your needs and we have a home for you, basically. At Fort Worth ISD, we have a lot of different career paths that you can go through and kind of explore. Just to give you a snippet of kind of the positions that we have administrative openings that range from entry level to advanced positions. We have custodial openings, and those openings go all the way up to the area supervisor level and manager level. We have mechanic positions, we have nurse positions, we have counselors, social services positions, bus drivers, warehouse and delivery positions. So we are hiring for all of those. We're looking for all those positions. And if you have a position that you're looking for, chances are we're hiring for it. So some of the things we're looking for when we're hiring at Fort Worth ISD are individuals that want to strive to do the best and be the best version of themselves. We look for individuals who are ready to step into a role that has a positive effect on the lives of children in our community, because as I said earlier, that's something that no matter what position you're in, you have an effect on the lives and the growth and the development of the children within our community. A great thing about working for Fort Worth ISD is that even if you are not exactly sure what route you may want to go career-wise or development-wise, we actually have a very robust substitute program. And this program isn't just limited to substitute teachers. We also have substitute positions for office staff and other auxiliary type positions. So if it's actually a great opportunity if you're not sure where your passion lies, or if you're looking for something more flexible, this is a great opportunity. And it's also a great way to get your foot in the door and kind of see if you like something and kind of see where your career may lead you from there. We currently have a lot of openings, so please do feel free to look at our career page. And working at Fort Worth ISD is a great opportunity. It has a lot of perks and benefits. We have a very good healthcare plan. It's very competitive. We have a very robust employee resource plan. And we also have a really competitive time off program, which includes 2 weeks off for the winter break. So a lot of people usually love that. At Fort Worth ISD, we just hope that you give us the chance to show you that we truly have a home for you, no matter what field you're in. So please feel free to look at our posting page and also on the workforce website to just kind of see if there's anything that piques your interest. And we definitely believe that you belong here with us. So please feel free to take a look at those and just let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to use the chat option at the bottom. And just thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Marcus, for the information that you shared. I do have a question for you. So for someone that is soon to complete their teaching degree and they're looking for an opportunity just to kind of get their feet wet, what would you suggest they do by way of applying? And the second part of that question is, should they actually serve as a substitute for a position? Is that considered when they actually apply for a teaching role?
So the good thing about having one of our substitute positions, we love to hire from within. So if you become a sub, you definitely have an inside curve on moving into one of those teaching positions. So for somebody just graduating from college and looking to become a teacher, they have to have all their certifications and things like that in order so that we can hire them on completely. But in the meantime, while they're waiting to finish up whatever certification and testing they may need, it's a great idea and a great opportunity to become a sub, and just that way you can get into the schools, kind of see which ones you enjoy, kind of even determine what grade level you might want to teach in, because sometimes whenever you're in school, you may think that you want to teach a certain grade level and you have that in mind, but whenever you start actually doing that, you might change a little bit. So that gives you a great opportunity to kind of see what that day-to-day work style and lifestyle would be at Fort Worth ISD.
Thank you so much for that information. Brittany, do we have any questions for Fort Worth ISD?
I'm seeing a couple asking if Fort Worth ISD is background friendly.
Fort Worth ISD is background friendly, and it does definitely depend on the position that you're applying for. Some of our positions work very closely with children, so they're a little more restrictive, but always feel free to put in an application. And there are certain cases where we do work with the individual. So it just kind of depends on the position and what the background actually has on there, but we definitely do work with you.
And then I have another one that's asking about opportunities for the disabled or work from home options.
Some of the departments are still using work from home options. I know a lot of the technology department is still doing work from home options, in some of the other areas as well. But that one kind of depends on a department by department basis on that. So it would be something that you would look, if you were looking for that, you would just pay attention to the job description and they would have it in there, that information involving if it is or is not work from home.
Okay, that wraps up the questions in the chat. I am working on putting Fort Worth ISD's career site in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcus, for the information that you've shared, and thank you, Brittany, for moderating the chat. Last but not least, we have the last employer that we have to present is Ventura Foods, and Maria Ortega will be speaking on behalf of the positions that they have open.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maria. I'm actually the HR generalist here at Ventura Foods. We have several positions open: machine operators, spicers, mixers. We have maintenance tech positions open for our third shift, tank farm positions open for our second and our third shift. We are also currently looking for a project engineer for our first shift. Majority of our machine operators, spicers, and mixers our first and second shift. And we're also looking for sanitation employees for our third shift as well. Our first shift positions, start time varies, some at 4 a.m., others at 5:30 and others at 6. For our second shift, we have a 4 p.m., a 2:30 p.m., and a 3 o'clock start time. Our third shift is 9 p.m. to about 5:30 a.m. We are currently working every other Saturday, Sundays off, but that all depends on the volume that we get. So there may be times when our volume does increase. We may have to add, a Saturday or a Sunday. But again, we do let our employees know in advance time when that's going to be. So our positions typically start out anywhere from $16.48 an hour up to $21 an hour. Our tank farm positions, our mixer positions, those depend on experience. So if you do have experience in the food industry as a mixer, or working in a tank farm, we do tend to look at the experience and offer higher pays of rates. We are background friendly, so anything that's past 7 years, we typically, look past it. As far as our COVID-19 protocols, we do not require the vaccine. We highly encourage it, but we do not require it. Currently, our mask policy is if you are fully vaccinated, you are not required to wear a mask. If you are not, you are required to wear a mask. We do provide masks for all of our employees. As far as our benefits are concerned, we do offer medical, dental, vision benefits, short-term, long-term, at no cost to the employer on day one of employment. We do offer up to 100% match at 3% for our 401k. And there's different levels of the 401k matching that you go to as well. So we're located actually in Saginaw, Texas, right off of Main Street, right next to all the local schools that we have here. We have other businesses that are around us, but we actually employ majority of our Saginaw population here in Saginaw.
Thank you so much for the information that you've shared. If you could please, Maria, elaborate on entry-level positions as well as opportunities that are related to a career path.
Okay, so currently at the time, we do not have any entry-level positions. Typically, our entry-level position would be a packaging tech. We currently do not have those positions available. As far as a career path, typically a machine operator would be somebody who would obviously just make sure that the machine doesn't break down, make sure that the machine is constantly running. If anything gets stuck, if there's maintenance that needs to be done, contact maintenance, make sure that it keeps running throughout the shift. From there, you can go on to be a spicer, and a spicer typically is just basically would be a mixer assistant. They come and they bring in all the materials that the mixer would need in order to create what they're doing. And I don't think I mentioned this, but what Ventura Foods does is we actually make a lot of the sauces, margarine, oils, dressings, mayonnaise, a lot for Subway, Sonic, Burger King, Popeyes. So if you've ever had like a ranch from Sonic, we make that. If you've ever gone to Subway, we make all the dressings there. So we manufacture them at our location. So what our spicers do is they bring all the materials, all of the ingredients that are already measured out to the mixer, and the mixer makes the whatever product that they're making there. So from a machine operator, you can go to a spicer. From a spicer, you can go on to a mixer. And then from a mixer, you can go on to a senior mixer and then a lead position. The great thing about Ventura Foods is that we promote a lot within. So there's definitely room for growth, room for improvement. So if you're ever thinking, hey, can I do this? there's always an opportunity, whether it's on first shift or second shift. So definitely a lot of our promotions that we've actually promoted a lot of our employees here within the last 3 months to higher positions.
Thank you, Maria. Brittany, are you about to speak?
No, I don't have anything in the Q&A. There's one in the chat. Just do you have a lot of degreed positions, Maria?
We do not. No, mostly our positions are on our manufacturing floor.
So there you have it. Thank you, Tarrant County, for tuning in to our monthly hiring event. Just as a reminder, this event is hosted on the third Thursday of every month. We encourage employers as well as job seekers to tune in. You know, in some cases, it's just a matter of getting that information out there. And within this opportunity, within this environment, you have the opportunity to get your information out as far as opportunities you are hiring for. You can actually speak about some of the challenges that you have faced as employers, job seekers. This is an option for you to actually speak directly to hiring managers. So it could definitely result in an interview, you know, or just moving forward with ultimately landing that position that you have been searching for. As we have noted within the chat section, the employer's information, you can also find opportunities that they have listed on Work in Texas. Job seekers, you can simply complete a search with the employer's name and the positions that they have will come up as a result. If we don't have any other additions, I think that this will conclude our event for today. Thank each of you for tuning in.